does a private school kid end up gang banging and on the street?
Well, my mother and my father's married to my stepmother, and I have two older brothers and a younger brother by my stepmother. My mother and father, my stepfather's mother and father are still married. So my mother did her best to shield me, protect me from all the street elements, raised me in Compton. She had a power garage, so she tried to like hit the garage before we even got to the house, pull in and leave in and out like that. And what really started my real acclimation to the street was my father, a good father, but married to a whole nother woman, a whole nother house, trying to do his best to look out for me. Came one day when I was young, 8 or 9, and he put a brand new NBA snapback basketball hoop on my garage.
The only right there, I remember those. Yeah.
I live right down the street from Track New Park, the neighborhood park where MC8 is from. And there was the neighborhood tradition was to play basketball at that park. They had gravel, asphalt, fucking hoops. Then they had rims that was bent, no snapback, and usually the nets was all tore off. I had this brand new silky white net with everything brand new orange. And it started happening that even though I wasn't a neighborhood kid, that same drive home, moms hit the garage for us to go in, we would come home and it'd be a group of neighborhood kids playing on my court because it was way better than the alternative down the street. And what happened once or twice is they see the garage pull up and come, they might have ran off or eyes got big. She never tripped. And that started me being able to go in the house, do my homework, come out, play basketball. And all those little boys turned out to be the Crips in that area. Didn't actually jump off the porch and start gangbanging with them. Although I did some mischievous things, I also was going to my father's house every weekend through the summer, sometime during the week. And my older brothers, who didn't have all the restrictions that I had, was exposed. So I was being exposed going to my daddy's house all the time. So I was, that was basically the makeup of how I was raised by my mother in a certain fashion, but still had access to become and be involved in the opposite side of life.
Did you feel like you wanted to fit in with the opposite
Definitely.
side?
Yeah. Definitely. I made sure I fit in.
It was the same. I asked that because it was the same thing.
Oh yeah, I was extremely. See, I used to go to church in Compton, and
church twice a week. Usher board.
Oh yeah, Usher board, choir, pathfinders, yes, every shit.
I knew so much.
I've even stood in the pulpit and delivered messages.
Me too.
Okay. So we used to be young and be at church, and the Compton Police Department used to come and do like these evening services, like Scare Straight, and show us all this gang violence and raw pictures of people arrested in the street. And I had a cousin, like, they don't know how much that shit was just, our mind was made up, we're going to gangbang. I don't know what the fuck, how you can show a child the most scariest, destructive lifestyle you can imagine, and it's attractive. I don't know what the fuck, but it was attractive to us.
Did you know what it was?
No. I remember being asked as a little boy, just was somewhere, you a cuz or blood? If you're a cuz, you cool. If you're blood, you bleed. I'm a cuz. That's my first understanding. And I grew to understand more and more as I grew. But just as a kid, I don't know where it came from. We used to say to each other, are you cuz of blood? I don't know where the fuck that shit came from.
At what point?
Not a Crip. A cuz of blood.
Yeah.
Are you a cuz of blood? Yeah, that shit was way. That's how juvenile this shit was in my life and how I learned it. I don't know when I really got the grasp of what it was and understood, but even before, I was a wannabe before I was a G. Yeah.
All of us were.
Yeah,
everybody. You know what I'm saying? All of us were. You know what I'm saying? And from my understanding, those that come from me and your exact background are the ones that take it all the way to another level.
I know, personally, my background did cause me to go to the extreme because
the most vicious killers, Pat, our same story. I was saying thing, the church, private school, you're some of the biggest people you can name if you look into.
What do you attribute that to? Because I have a specific understanding as to why I felt like I outdid my peers.
For me, it was like what you said. All right, so for my story, Harlem was, when I was a little kid, Harlem was so bad. It was so crazy. And I was being attacked already at 5 years old. You know what I'm saying? Beat up, jump. You know what I'm saying? Couldn't go to the store. Mom said, go to the store. Couldn't even explain to her how I got to try to navigate and figure out how to get to the store because these little bastards, as soon as I come outside, going to surround me to beat me up. You know what I'm saying? They're going to jump me. They're going, you know, whatever. You know what I'm saying? And they older than me, but I'm so big, always a big kid, they don't give a fuck. You know what I'm saying? You know, and they want to pick on me. You got me going to church. You won't let me come outside and play in the park. If the other kids ain't Christian, I can't play with them. So they have every reason to think I'm some nerd nigga and attack me, you know, and I don't have nobody, no other friends I could go and get support from, because everywhere I live at, the other kids is like me. Private school, same thing. We all got the same story, but outside of the gates where we live at, it's still the hood. We're still in Harlem. So when I go outside the gate, these guys is mad at us because I might got a mom and father, but they don't know their parents or don't know their dad or their mom is on crack or there's some serious situation going on and they looking at us with some type of enviness, you know, and hatred because they feel that we're spoiled. You know what I'm saying? We going to church Sunday wearing nice clothes, you know, whatever like that. So growing up, having to deal with them, you know, by the time I said this to my partner earlier, you know, I look at my kids and I'm just so thankful. Because at 9 years old, I was so tired of having to fight these bastards and go through it. I was already in my mom's kitchen drawer studying knives. At 9. At 9 years old, I had already figured out if I take a sock and stick these rocks in it and stick it down in my waist here, no one to know that I had it with. And then when the game, when I go outside and they, you know, come to beat me up, I could grab the sock of rocks and start swinging. You know what I'm saying? I had already, my kids don't even know, you know what I'm saying? I had already started, and that only progressed. So by the time I turned 13 and was able to put my hand on a gun, you know what I'm saying? It was venom about what that kid had been through. You niggas been terrorizing me. You niggas been, you ain't never gonna hurt me, never again in fucking life.
Get my weight with my hate,
you know what I'm saying? You ain't never gonna hurt me again in life. Got a pistol right now. I wish you niggas run up with that bush. I'm gonna kill you niggas. Right. And I think that the torment that kid went through, now I'm cool. Now the same dudes, they don't see that. They, I guess, see that the hurt that I'm willing to hurt them. I'm willing to do something. Now I'm cool. They want to hang out with me, and you know I could come around that. The marijuana get in the game now. You know what I'm saying?
Man, you didn't miss me drop 3 references of lyrics and you ain't even caught them.
My bad.
I said, get my hater with my weight and pay him back when I'm bigger.
Oh yeah, okay.
I said, now they buy me milks at lunch. Cookies is crunch. The cookies is butter crunch.
Yes, yeah.
What was that? It was one more I said.
Yeah, exactly. I know. Come on now.
I had one more. It was one more too. When you play it back, you
know. So you already know. Yeah, you know what I'm saying. Yeah. So that was the biggie. So I went through, you know, that, and so by the time that happened, that's for me.
This is what it was for me. Being raised in the private school and all that, I mentally perceived that there was a lot going on that these dudes was already doing that I had missed out on. And when I got here, I assumed that they would perceive private school upbringing a certain way, and I want to make sure that I never ever got looked at a certain way, thought about. So I say, hey, I'm showing up now, and these niggas knew me as a kid, a few of them, but not as a banger and all that. They hearing I go to private school. I will never give the perception that I'm less than or nothing. I'm going to do my part. I assume they had already, as a group, been up to a certain amount of activity. So I just volunteered to try to catch up, and not knowing that just a little bit caused me to outdo it. They was watching me like, this nigga's a fool. Probably expecting me to crash. But the Creator's so gracious, so fit to give me mercy. But just being willing to do my part and not wanting to have to be pushed or anybody ever suggest I do. I assumed that the tempo was like this. I said, let me jump in and keep up. And that tempo I assumed was ahead of the heartbeat of the whole environment. And it caused me to just be that guy.
Yeah, and it's really very similar to what I just said.
No, exactly.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
That's why I was able to sum mine up so easily and quick, because you basically gave the more colorful version of what we both saying.
Yeah, so that's, what I experienced, and that's what got me into that, Now, somewhere, around that time, rap music.
Plus, my brother had a reputation that was so crazy. And when I turned the hood, I was only able to do it because he was incarcerated. He used to try to keep me away. So I took my chance. When he in jail, I'm going to pop up and play on a few relationships I know to make this work. And I was be damned. Big Spider and Little Spider. I'm Baby Spider. There's two Spiders ahead of me.
Absolutely.
Their reputations is so cold. Cause I cannot, and they both proud of my cripping.
Yeah.
Big Spider has been gone 21 years. Little Spider has been gone since 1991. So what is that? 35 years. They both, just this East Side cripping, East Coast cripping, 97th Street cripping, they got such big blue chucks to feel. And I feel them so eloquently. I am so humbly proud of myself. They are proud of me. It was a difficult task that I took on, being Baby Spider, and I did that eloquently. So that was another motivation to go hard, because my G homies was extra out.
Yeah, no doubt. That's much respect.
I didn't mean to cut you off.
Before
we go on.
So I asked you, at what point did you realize, being the smart guy that you was, being the private school educated you was, when did you realize that this wasn't what you thought it was?
Hey! There's a clip close to me!
I said, get him, get him, get him. I'm gonna get him, hit him, get him. I said, how can a apostle be this hostile? With no home training, I'll pop you. Stop your breathing and close your nostrils. Plot your death while I read the Gospels. You're a hassle, you dirty rascal. You wanna wrestle, what's about the tassel? My cerebral, see no evil. You can't be a boss if you're weak and feeble. See, Sean Bigga, I'm bona fide. And you just born a fly. Said he had strengths on him rely. Picture that I then replied. The world is dark, it's just a matrix. My light will shine, I am the greatest. I said he's chicken, shit's kebab. Try to play me, this to God. In debate on what the profit is, as I squeeze esophagus. Get him, get him, get him. I'm gonna get him.